Hello there, Guardians. Today, I'm just recording over a match that I played. I guess I'm probably just using some green weapons, and this is like it's not particularly a stellar match, but it's a gameplay, and I wanted to talk about a little bit of something that I was thinking about yesterday, and that is what actually it means to be the best. So, and like insert Pokemon reference here, get your jokes out. This is going to be an ultra super serious video where we're going to talk about. No, it's not actually going to be that serious. It's just something I want to talk about. So the reason why I bring this up is because not that I've been dealing with it, but I'm around scrub mentality a little bit, and I'm gonna connect and interweave the two statements here in just a moment. So you're like probably sitting here thinking, sides, what is scrub mentality? Scrub mentality is, in my interpretation at least, is this mentality where you don't want to do something because it's quote unquote too try hard, or you don't want to improve because you just don't care to. You're okay and you're complacent with not being at or, you're just okay with not improving. We'll leave it at that, right? Now, I'm not saying that you have to, for example, in the context of Destiny, you don't have to exotic switch for your super every time. Like, that's not scrub mentality. Scrub mentality would be like, well, I'm bad, and that's okay, I'm fine with that. And it's okay to accept that you're bad, but having this mentality where you're complacent with being inefficient or ineffective or just a noob, for lack of a better word, is what I would quantify as scrub mentality. So let's talk about that. What does it mean to be the best? Okay, so first things first, the context, or not context, why I say this word so much. Anyway, the definition of being the best is almost entirely opinionated and subjective. And you're probably sitting here thinking, okay, how is that the case? Like, you can be number one. Sure, yes, you can be number one statistically based whenever there's a governing board suggesting the criteria for what is the best. For example, being the best speedrunner of a game, or I guess having the best time would be having the fastest completion of that game. You might not be the best though, because again, I watch ZFG and I think he's a way better runner than Glitchymon, but I think Glitchymon is easily a very good runner as well, and this is Ocarina of Time. And I think that they're better than me. And it's not that scrub mentality applies here because I don't speedrun the game, but just to give an example, my opinion is ZFG is better because he's ZFG and I like ZFG. Someone else might say Glitchymon's better. Another comparison in this context is some people will say, "Oh, Cammy Cakes is a lot better than Sides," and that's entirely up to your opinion. Some people could say Cammy Cakes is the best in the game, and I've even been on record before, like suggesting that Cammy Cakes is probably the most experienced or the best versatility based player in Destiny history, in regards to how much he can just flex, and not flex in like showing off stats or anything, but flex as in like as his versatility of a player and still maintaining an extremely high level of efficacy in that direction. So you see what I mean in regards to mentioning how saying someone or something is the best is, it's entirely subjective. Eminem is a better rapper than J. Cole, so I think Eminem is the best. Like that. And again, this isn't necessarily what I think, but it's an example that's been brought up to me before, or that I've previously brought up. So, going into the topic here, what does it mean to be the best? How can someone act like the best? Well, then I guess it's a little, I don't want to say existential, but it's a little philosophical. For me, being the best is definitely, it's being the best that you can be. And that could be interpreted in a couple different ways. For me, I always want to improve. I never view myself as the best. I never view myself as, you know, I can never get better than this, or it's going to be hard to get better than this. My mentality when I play games, or, at schoolwork or anything like that, is I want to be better. I can be better. And it's not that like in a negative mentality or masochistic mentality. It is just a sense of I always want to improve. I can always be better. Things can always be better. There's always some avenue of improvement that is, in the direction of legitimacy. And the whole me on this tirade of using green weapons is again just another facility of that, which is, I can always improve. I can, hyperbolic time chamber. I can put on green weapons and drop 40, 50 kills if I go for it and I practice enough. because eventually, you know, I learn how to outplay these opponents, and you know, my hand cannon shot no longer relies on the occasional RNG or the occasional, you know, and like crazy aim assistance curve and, you know, the crazy host advantage. And sometimes there's things that you can't avoid, like that beautiful melee hit I just took there. But it's, for me, it's all about being as good as I can possibly be, and then being at that point and just thinking to myself, oh, I'm gonna get even better, and just always having this mentality of pushing forward and improving and being better. And this goes for anything: gaming, socialization, being a better human being, you know, being mindful, like recycling or something, you know, reduce, reuse, recycle, you know, use less water in the shower or something, you know what I mean? And that's what it means to me to be the best, I guess. That's one of my interpretations. The other interpretation is the one that I just delved in a little bit, which is, you know, it's improving on yourself and just having this mentality of always pushing forward, always improving. So the major pitfall of a lot of people is that, especially like top end players in like a game or chess or anything, is that they think, oh, I'm the best. This is as good as it's gonna get. Or like, you know, a speedrunner might say like, oh, this category's dead because they, you know, they got a good time. But that's not how that works, you know. And when you've signed off on yourself that something can never be improved upon, you've already lost at that point. Unfortunately, that's, you know, a pitfall mentality that a lot of people feel, and they, you know, it's a very real situation. But it's worth mentioning that, hey, once, you know, once you've signed off like, oh, I am the best, you might, you know, you've lost. You might not see that, you know, that stature or whatever be a thing anymore for very long. Sorry about that. I took a little bit of a little cut there, so I'll need my attention. And I just wanted to recollect my thoughts on this and decide how I want to wrap up the last like 3-4 minutes of this. So I'm going to talk about how can you be the best? How can you, in viewer number 69,469, how can you be the best? And that's really, it's not that hard to think of. Sorry if you can hear my stomach growling. I'm very hungry right now. And that is just have a mentality of, I want to be the best. I want to improve. You should never be like want to be number one. You should just want to be the best that you want to be. You know, sometimes being number one is nothing but a number. I could be number one, but I could still be the best, or I could be number 5 and I could still be the best. You know, it's not so black and white. And my advice to a viewer who's sitting here like, you know, I want to be the best, or I want to be the best person that I could be. Again, it's just this moving forward mentality. Take things critically, approach them critically, and, you know, take the necessary steps to improve. And then, sure enough, you know, after some period of time, that seems like it'll go by in the blink of an eye when you're at that point. You know, you might wake up one morning and be like, whoa, what happened? You know, like, what the hell? And that's pretty much all the advice I can give on that. And this isn't like a sub video. I'm not like sub commentating anyone. I'll be like, oh, this guy's got a cocky ego. Like, you know, we all know the common Twitch sides likes to definitely push some buttons in that department. And I don't think I'm the best, and I don't think I ever will be the best. And I don't quite frankly care about being the best. It's not something I've ever thought. You know, I've never thought to myself, oh, I want to be number one. I just say, man, I want to be good enough to where I can sit here and think, you know, I went hard. You know, when it's all done and over, I want to be able to sit there and think I went hard and be satisfied with that. So that's about my thoughts on all this subject, or the single subject, and scrub mentality and being the best. And it looks like we're coming to the end of the match, so wrapping up this commentary. This isn't meant to be like a super crazy awesome video or anything. It's just a little thing I thought about, and I had some background gameplay that I wanted to get rid of, in the sense of just upload. I wanted to get an upload out, honestly, and I'd kind of tired. In any case, hopefully the gameplay was fun to watch. Hopefully this was a topic that made you think a little bit. If not, then I'm sorry for wasting your time. Thanks for the views. In any case, all seriousness, appreciate all you guys. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace.